develop the skills. And it's
Right.
wonderful to have schools like Briarcliff that could actually have people learn and have specific skills when they leave there to pursue
Yes.
their interest
I,
and their careers. It's
I have to
great.
say it was bittersweet graduating because I loved my 3.5 years there. I did 4 years and 3.5 because I went right through the summer. But it's just the greatest place to learn and grow together and support, a lot of support. So it was a good decision. You know, life's all about choices, Mike, and sometimes, you know, we make bad choices and, you know, other times we just, if you think things through, you can make great decisions and
Well, and
turn your life around. You know?
and you mentioned before having goals and working towards those goals, and,
Yes.
and you really, not only did you do it, but you excelled at it. So it's just so exciting, you know, to see this stuff and see how enthused that you are, you know, with your work and how beautiful it is. And we're talking about like photographs, we're talking about your artwork. Now with your graphic design, I saw
Yes.
some logos recently that you've been working on.
Yes.
And I think we might even have a couple of photos of a logo that you did for designated driver.
Yes.
And it's the North Fork designated driver. It's up on the screen right now, and it's just a great logo with the hand passing the keys with the
Right.
great colors that represent
grapes.
the grapes and the wineries.
Yes.
And I know it's a company that's going to be providing a well-needed service
yes.
for the North Fork with all the drinking and driving that's out there.
Well, that subject is very near and dear to my heart, Mike, because first of all, I was very happy to be involved in designing the logo for this company because something I said in my speech as valedictorian, not to put a damper on the ceremony, but right after I went to work, a couple years later, my mother was killed by a drunk driver, and that was back in 1980. So yes, if anything, if you're gonna, I had told my class in my speech, if you're going to celebrate, please, enjoy yourself, but have a designated driver. And I didn't want to bring it up to put a damper on the wonderful, commencement ceremony.
No, that was.
But we have to be
what
aware
a message that you were able to say. First of all, what an
Yes.
awful thing as that you had to experience.
It was shocking.
I know that you had told me about it prior to you coming on the show today, and I just admire that you were able to share that with 2,000 people in the audience.
Yes.
2,000
Yes.
people.
And now on YouTube.
YouTube with it. And I think we have a picture of you actually as valedictorian giving the speech. I don't have the
Okay.
YouTube. They'll have to go to your website. But,
Yes.
There you are up on the screen right now. And
Right.
that was your message for
Yes.
everybody there.
And I had a big bee pin on to represent, not just my photography and love of bees, but my mother that was killed. Her name was Beatrice, and she used to say that she was the queen bee, and she was the baby bee because she was the 14th of 14 children. And so I've had a love. She used to wear bee pins, and she'd have little bee things around the house. So I guess that's where my love began with the bees, But it's funny how things end up coming around where, that kind of brought out my creativity when I noticed the butterfly and the bees. And next thing I knew, I earned my degree, and now I'm designing. So
yeah, it's like Mom was with you
Yeah.
and guiding you in the right
Exactly.
direction there, and especially
plus-
the symbolism of the bees and
bee.
the butterflies.
you can usually
and-
find a little bee somewhere, in my design, but it's not all bees and not all nature. I do all kinds of designs for, various different companies, and,
Oh,
So.
just beautiful work, and it's a compliment to you and what you were able to do, and inspiration for anybody watching the show that has said, "Gee, I feel stuck.
right.
This
never
isn't
stuck.
me. I'm stuck. I'm too old. And what would you say to them?"
Well, I have to say, on that note, when I first enrolled, not everyone, my family and best friends have always supported me. But I've had people say to me, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? You know, it's going to be hard for you. You've been out of high school for like decades. Why would you want to do that to yourself? And my answer is just that, why not? You know, it's something that I want to do. It's never too late to reinvent yourself. You know, just go
Absolutely.
for it. And I went for it, and that's, you know, here I am. So if
Here
I
you are.
can do
Look at
it,
that. You're on TV now. You're been
Right.
many job opportunities are now starting to come your way. I know you
Right.
talked a little bit about a few that just this week you went to some
Yes.
interviews
right,
and
been getting calls and going on
getting
interviews.
calls and just trying to pick that right one
Right.
that's the right
Yes.
chemistry and you'll enjoy doing.
Where I can create and enjoy going to work every day. But again, I would just tell people, just please go and do it. But be determined. People also said to me, well, you're so smart. How did you get honors? No, I just worked really hard. I studied. I made 3x5 cards. You know, it didn't come easily. I had to really work hard.
Plus, you would freelancing,
Yes.
right? So not
Right.
only are you doing your projects, your work, but you're designing logos like we
Right.
saw before. You're doing
Exactly.
websites for people. You're doing photography for
Photography.
jobs that you have to do.
Yes.
You did all types of
And I was
photography, right?
taking like, oh yeah, all kinds, like christenings and babies' birthdays.
Baby,
and,
that's hard. Getting
Yeah.
the little kids to
Oh,
smile.
it's a lot of
and-
fun though.
and
You have to
everything.
really kind
Yeah.
of have roller skates on. And the last baby's birthday party I did, I was like sore for 2 days of just chasing around the little ones, but I love it, you know.
You're right,
and
right,
then you're
right.
giving them their memories, you know. Digital age nowadays, you can give them hundreds of pictures because you're not spending money on film or anything. And then they appreciate it, and then they'll refer you to somebody else, you know.
Right.
But it's all
right.
about making memories, and you know,
Well,
it's great.
you do beautiful work, and tell us more about this book that you're going to be doing. You know,
Okay.
Where are you with that? And I know you called
Okay.
it your senior
It's my senior project.
project.
Yes,
Okay.
my big
is
thesis.
there a like a deadline for it? Is there a goal
By the end
that
of
you have to
August.
try to finish?
By the end of August.
The end of August?
Yes.
Oh, soon?
So
Wow.
I'm stepping it up big time.
Oh, we
I'm
got to
running
finish
around-
up. We got to finish this interview so you can go
The
out
bees,
and work on
the crops are coming up in the Lavender Farm, Lavender by the Bay. The crops are coming up, so I'm going to be running out there and getting some more shots.
Okay.
It's pretty much, I've put it together kind of in InDesign, and I'm still working on the writing and adding more photographs, but I think I could do it. It's like it's the last stretch. It's the marathon. I'm almost at that finish line, Mike, and I'm going to make it. Yeah.
Well, we are in the marathon, and speaking of finish lines, we're
Yes.
finishing up our show here.
Wow, that was quick.
And so much great stuff. When you have great stuff, it just,
Right.
you know, you just have so much enthusiasm for it. But anyway, we're here with Nancy Ann Bow today, who is just an inspiration for so many people out there. And if you would like to see more of her work, you could go to her website. Nancy Ann, what is that website again?
It's nancyanndesign.com.
Okay, and would they be able to hear about your new book when the book is released? Would you be able to
Yes, you'll be able
give
to
more information on that and everything?
Absolutely.
And possibly where it's available out on the east end of Long Island or any other place.
Yes.
And Nancy, it was a pleasure. Thank you so
so
much for
Mike.
being
I really
here today. It
appreciate
was
you having
great.
me. Thank
Oh,
you.
Thank you.
Enjoyed it. It was great.
Yep.